So welcome everyone to a special edition of Africans Talk Football today. Like we said earlier, we're going to try to give you guys a lot of different type of content, more than just our usual recap of what happened in the Prem the week prior. So I would like to, announce our guest here on the show, our buddy Taylor. And
how's it going?
It's going great. How's everyone feeling tonight?
Oh, feeling great. Shout out to Taylor for joining us.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, pretty good.
I think it's going to be one of our biggest episodes. I'm actually really excited just to get into it.
Yeah.
But, he's a friend of Salam, so I just want to hand it over to Salam so he can just do a quick intro before we get into Taylor and what he's got for us today.
Yeah. Begin, Taylor. Thank you for coming on. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you giving us your time.
Sure.
I met Taylor and I actually have a good mutual friend named Comey. Shout out Comey. He's a fellow Arsenal fan. And that's where him and I met. But obviously thank you again for coming on, but just kind of diving just right into it. Like, what's your kind of story like with, football? We address soccer here as football. So what's your story like with football? Like, how did you get into it? And,
Kind of soccer in middle school. Everybody in my school was really big into like American football or lacrosse, and I just wasn't. Anytime on recess, we would all go out and like have a soccer ball and play around. And most people didn't take it seriously, but I did. I just kind of got into it and loved it. Played all the way through high school as a center back. That's really how I got into school.
Before you get too far, where are you from originally?
I'm from Boulder, Colorado, but I went to school in Denver at the time. Yeah.
Cool. Gotcha.
But I'm 6'5", so center back, or goalkeeper, and I wanted to play with my feet, so center back.
Okay. You're 6'5"?
Van Dyke. Taylor Van Dyke.
Yo, when you stood up for a second ago, like I did not think you were 6'5". That's crazy. Every header.
Yeah, that made me pretty tall. It was nice.
So did you play all 4 years in high school?
Yeah, all 4 years, 2 JV and then 2 on varsity.
Oh, wow. Nice. Did you play for fun in college, or you played?
Yeah, I played pickup games, but definitely not good enough to like actually play collegiate.
Okay.
So it's just for fun for me.
Do you play in any like men's leagues right now, anything like that in Colorado?
No, I started one through work 5 or 6 years ago, but since we kind of had to go through Boulder indoor soccer, they started you out like with new teams later in the night, and convincing people that have to be awake at work at like 8 a.m. to play at like 11 p.m. kind of sucked. So haven't really gotten anybody together since. So I'd love to play some more, but haven't got to it.
Awesome. So SoccerKitTok. We want to talk about that because I think it's a very, very interesting concept. I actually found your page before I actually knew you knew Comey. So it was actually a pretty cool experience. I was actually talking to him about this TikTok page that I found, and he was like, hold on, are you talking about the guy that talks about the jerseys? And I was like, oh yeah. He's like, I actually know him. And that's how this kind of came about. Because we were just randomly talking. I was, asking him about, hey, what do you think of our podcast? Kind of asking him for feedbacks, and we somehow ended up on, your page. So I kind of want you to kind of get into how you got into soccer kits. Like, what was the first kit you got that made you just fall in love with getting more and starting a collection?
Well, I'm wearing the team.
Okay.
First kit that I really got that I like fell in love with, because I had a couple before that, but it was an old city kit from 98, 99. It is neon green and black stripes, and it is kind of audaciously ugly, but it's like meaningful for City fans. And it was the kit that they were wearing the first time I saw them play, so it was kind of meaningful to me, and I was like, this is really cool. And then my grandma bought me a kit one time when she was in Italy and brought it back, and it just kind of were around my house at the time. I'd wear them when I was playing myself, and like I got into just like collecting them myself over the years. I think I've been like collecting for like about 12, 13 years now.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
And it's
wow.
kind of just accelerated. Yeah.
Hmm.
Some people say it's a problem. I say it's not. It's awesome.
It's not a problem, man. That's a good like
Good
hobby
hobby.
and collection to
Yeah, for
have,
sure.
honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. I like it.
Real quick question for me. I know it's kind of crazy, but how many kits do you actually have? Because I know it's probably over like 150 or something. Like, and you have to have a like, where do you store them to? Like, where do you put all these kits?
Right.
They're in the basement on a couple racks. So
Okay.
I'm kind of a nerd about it. They're sorted by country and then by league. And I had a lot of downtime and did like by league standing a couple weeks ago. So
Wow.
Really? Okay.
I'm rocking with that.
That's
I'm rocking with that.
do you want to play like Price is Right rules and take some guesses about how many I have?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
actually.
I mean, you said
It
it's
is
definitely
above 100.
okay.
So I'll give you that.
12,
It's above 100.
13 years.
Okay.
I'll say
wait. Before you say guesses, closest one gets $5.
Okay.
from who?
As long as Solange wins,
All right, cool. I'll go first.
Is it over
I'll
100?
say racks. If you have racks of jerseys, I mean,
Wait, that's a good hint, actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
I would say 300.
No,
Wow.
it's lower.
Okay.
I'm gonna go 213.
Oh wow.
Higher.
Jeez.
Whoa. Okay. I'll go 260.
Lower.
Okay.
Yeah, Cornelius, we set the bar for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like 259.
43. 243.
Lower than that, it's 216. So you're pretty close.
Oh,
wow.
That's
216.
crazy. I was gonna guess 216 for Cleveland.
That's our
too. I
area
swear.
code. That's
Oh, I'm
crazy.
pissed.
I thought about it
That's
too. That's
crazy.
wild.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll
That's
get to show you guys.
impressive.
You guys will get to see the latest one. It just came in the mail today.
Wow.
awesome,
We got an exclusive. We got an exclusive. Look at that.
Yeah, it dropped today.
So
Nice.
216 jerseys. How
Yep.
did you
Yep.
get into like, explaining them on like SoccerKitTok? Like the concept of SoccerKitTok, how did that come about?
That was my wife's idea, actually.
Oh
Just
wow.
like, you have all this soccer knowledge, you have all these jerseys. Why don't you just like get on TikTok and show them off? And like people like that part, but you can also share your knowledge and talk about the clubs, help people get into it. If it's like a club they love, want to love, or their club is playing and they hate them, and you want to know some shit to talk about them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like probably something will come up that people will like. And I just started doing it for fun, and people seem to be like really resonating with it and like giving me good comments and asking for like their clubs they want to see. So yeah, it's kind of a fun way to just involve myself with people that love soccer or know nothing about soccer but want to. So yeah, it was her idea first, and she gets credit.
Nice.
Well, nice. I just
Yeah.
wanted to say, I think it's dope that you're doing this because
Thanks.
a lot of, especially here in the US, like not a lot of people. I mean, bro, I've watched soccer a lot. I don't even know some of the jerseys that
Right.
You have, right.
that
Yeah,
you have.
For real.
So like, I
Mhm.
think like,
Yeah.
you're doing a service for the people. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
I commend you on that.
Yeah.
that was
Go
that
ahead.
was the first thought of like mix like clubs that don't get a lot of exposure with like clubs that everybody knows, maybe knows something more. So like it's good to hear that people are finding new clubs they've never heard of. So yeah.
Oh yeah,
Really
for
cool.
sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't have a pod or a TikTok, but you have an Instagram. We follow you on Soccer Jersey Talk on there as well. And I was just scrolling down, just looking at some of the videos you have on there, and then Girona FC. I literally had never heard of them before, and then my buddy's a Madrid fan, and then you told the fact in 2017 they beat Madrid 2-1. I'm like, they beat Madrid? So I go over to my buddy. I was like, yo, do you remember Girona FC? And he's like, oh, those fucking, yeah. And then he went off on a tangent, and it was just like, that's crazy because the jersey was cool. I just clicked on it because I like the stripes. You even give the history on how the diagonal stripes was cool for that year. And so my question is like, what's your process? Like, how do you pick your teams?
That's actually that's a good example to start with, because Girona found them because City Football Group bought a stake in them. So I guess I'll find out about them.
Okay.
But
Wow.
for the purpose of, there's probably going to be some players that I know that are going to be on loan there, see how they do. So that's how I found them. But most of the time it's club I dig plays a club. Some random amazing goal gets scored, and it's I don't know this club. Let me go find out about them. Just read, learn, scour the internet, talk to fans if I come across them, which is rare during pandemic times, obviously, but it's mostly kind of happenstance, watching games and just seeing a club that I dig for some reason, just reading up on them, learning about them, watching videos.
So I've noticed that you normally allow, your followers to, give suggestions. So how do you normally decide on which team you're going to cover? I know you kind of went over the process, but how do you make the final decision? Okay, this week it's this team.
Kind of just however I feel. I mix. I feel like it's half taking recommendations, just seeing what I see in comments, writing them down, and be okay, yeah, I have that kid, or oh no, I don't. Let me see if I can find one because I'm interested in that club. Most. And then the other half of, I try and move around the world as much as I can of what I have in my collection. Originally, when I started, I thought, okay, maybe I'll do each weekend, I'll do 3 clubs from one country, one the next one that's a big one, and one you might not know. So I did that with Mexico right out of the gate. That seemed to go over really well, but I wanted to kind of spread it around a little bit more, and it's tough to kind of
The reason I asked you that question was because you went over Asante Kotoko's jersey, and I'm actually from Ghana. And so when I saw that, it blew my mind. It literally blew my mind. I was like, how did he even find this? So it piqued my interest. How does he come up? How does he decide? Okay, I'm going to cover this. But I like what you do. You pretty much just cover, all around the world. It's not, just all English teams or Spanish teams. It's just everywhere. And I have one more request for you. Since you did Kotoko, you have to do Accra House of Folk. That was my team. So you have to do Accra House of Folk.
You gotta kind of write it down. I'll find a kid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's their rival. It's Kotoko's rival, Accra House of Folk. So yeah, that's my only request I have for you.
I mentioned them in the video. And,
you did. You did.
The kid then, but right along. Porcupine Warriors.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I love what happens on a lot of African kits with just the emblem along the side as well, putting the actual crest on there. I love that style.
How long have you had that one?
That one I actually just got recently.
Oh, really?
In the mail about 2 months ago. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
It took a long time to arrive. I've looked around for kits around the world, and when I can find one, I'm never going to see this again.
Okay.
I just got the money because I can find it.
Yeah, so that was actually kind of one of my questions, having 216 kits, and with so many people, making fakes and making kits all over the place. What's your process of actually finding the kit, and where do you go to get kits? Because we all said, you have kits that we've never seen ever, and so where do you go to get your kits? Because I know I'm not always trying to go to Arsenal Direct, man. They're expensive. so yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I get 1 or 2 a year direct from a club where I'm I absolutely need this one that's dropped now. So we're getting towards that part of the year where new kits are dropping, and if something looks really good and I don't have it from a club, I'll probably get it from a club. But other than that, my wife and I, we try and travel as much as we can. Obviously, that didn't happen in a couple of years, but whenever we're near a club or in a city, taking a look.
That's a great idea.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, after a while, if you've collected kits, you know what a fake looks like. You can kind of see them.
For sure.
No. So I have some older ones that are fakes, but not too many kind of get by me now. I have one guy that I buy from pretty frequently through eBay. His name's Igor. I will shout him out later because this kit I just got in the mail is from him. I'll tell you a little more about him. He's a cool
I don't
dude.
know why, but that name sounds familiar.
Trust him.
No, for real. I feel like I've bought kits off eBay before, so I feel like I've bought a kit from that same person before, off
okay.
eBay.
You might have.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, he lives in Kyiv, Ukraine.
Oh, wow.
I gotta go back and look, but I feel like I
Yeah.
bought a kit from an Igor before, like randomly, or seen his name on eBay before. So that's kind of wild.
Yeah, he's a good dude. I just got this kit from him. It like obviously with the war, it took a month and a half to get here, but he's pretty dedicated. He's staying safe. I chat with him every once in a while on eBay back and forth when I buy a kit from him. And yeah, he's taken some portions of the profits from his shirt sales right now and giving them to the Ukrainian army. So that's kind of nice too.
Wow.
That he does that.
Shout out
Oh,
to
Igor, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have like a social media handle or anything? Like an
I could
Instagram?
probably, not that I know of. I could throw out his eBay name. Which I think
Okay.
Igor ON93. I think I'll have to check that.
Okay.
But yeah.
So I see like Igor gives you jerseys. You say you buy from clubs. Has there ever been a jersey that you just couldn't find or was just really obscure and you really had to scour the ends of the earth? You know what I mean?
One that's taken forever to find. I got one that was found for me that even I didn't know of before I got it. So I'll talk about that in a second. But hardest one to find, actually this one, kind of a random one I brought up. It took me a long time to find. It just looks so audacious and cool. But it took me about a year after it came out to find it from Levante.
Whoa, those are
Colors
nice.
are crispy.
Yeah, it was a third kit they did. You can see kind of the like additional
Yeah,
zigzags on
That's
there.
tough.
Smooth.
My wife hates the look of it, but only because she just really doesn't like yellow. So she got a good point about that. But
That's a strong yellow though. Like
Mhm.
they probably got a patent on
Yeah.
that.
That's McDonald's yellow.
yeah, I had
Facts.
with you now at Arsenal, but Gabriel Jesus. I had a Gabriel
Mhm.
Jesus Brazilian jersey for the World Cup a couple years ago, and she's like, "Yeah, I wear this too much."
So, question for you: like, how do you? I know, like, we're kind of all over the place with these questions, but it's just, how do you select? Do you care about the players, like on the back of the jersey? Do you just get kits, or do you get like?
I generally just get kits. If I'm buying from a club, like I'll usually get a name on a kit as well. Like City kit here is one of my older ones from City, and it's got Zabaleta on the back because it's one of my absolute favorite players. But most kits I'll find like somewhere else or like at a club or like a vendor. Yeah, just no names.
Nice.
Timeless.
Okay,
Go ahead, Mark.
so we were just talking about Chelsea's kit that dropped and the conversation of historic kits somehow ended up in there. And what do you think makes a historic kit for a club? Because there are some kits that you look back and you can just remember the time period. You could just be like, oh, the days with Arsenal with JVC and what was the other
Yeah,
one?
the kid sponsor.
Yeah. So there are some kits you can just remember with the sponsor. I kind of want to get your input on that. Since you're a collector, what kind of kits do you look at and you think, okay, this is a historic one that I need?
Like visually, like the kit sponsor is a really big one. Like as much as like companies are there and they used to not be on kits, I'm not like partial to them being on the front. Like obviously like the JVC, like you mentioned, like Carlsberg for Liverpool.
Carlsberg,
like
Classics.
Kind of like if you're down in Italy, like pretty much anybody that's appeared on AC Milan kit, like Opel and everything.
Opel was hard.
Vodafone.
Generally for me also, like outside that would be like moments that a player has like come to bear wearing that jersey where they scored that goal, whatever it may be.
Okay.
Kind of strikes me. That's where one I've bought, which is down here. Like I brought it up, just it felt weird. Like Cornelius, you're wearing the Barca jersey, but you're a Chelsea fan, so sorry, man.
Oh,
yeah, those are
classic.
UNICEF?
No.
That is a
Oh, no.
Yeah, That's fire.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You
That's
just
one
took
of
us
my
back.
moments. Like you guys immediately felt pain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Sorry.
okay. I mean,
Dang.
you know, we still got two of
I
them
was
things.
just
We still got
watching
two of
the
them
highlights.
things.
I was just watching the highlights, you know. Oh man. Yeah, we still got two
We
of
still
them.
got two of them things, you know.
still
It's,
got
it's
two.
okay. That
I'm
was
gonna
a
get
tough
mine
one,
someday.
though. That was a tough
Maybe
one.
we'll get there someday.
Me
No, I
too.
feel-
Me too.
I feel that because every time I see, I think it's that 2011, 2012, 2013 Man City jersey
Oh yeah.
that he had.
Aguero.
Like every
Doesn't
time,
tell.
like I already know. Like when I see it, like I already know what era, what
Mhm.
year, what everybody's number was. I'm just like, yeah, man, I feel you on that.
One of the best years of my life.
Yeah. So one of my questions was personally, what if you don't mind us asking, what is like the most expensive kit that you've like had to get? Like what's the most expensive one? Because I know kits are expensive. Like you go, I know inflation's crazy right now, but I mean you go to Arsenal, I mean an Arsenal kit right now is pretty much what 180 for authentic kit from the website. So I know you're getting retro kits, you're getting old kits, some of them are not even in circulation anymore. So it's if I'm asking, like what's the most expensive kit that you've had to get?
I think like there's a couple that I bought like direct from vendors, like you were saying, like ones that just aren't in circulation anymore, they're hard to find. That was $250. That's the most I've ever spent. And that was for a 94, 95 Blackburn Rovers kit.
Whoa.
Wow.
Was that the championship
League?
The championship winning year?
The year after. So it has the crest
okay.
right in the center with their Premier League win. I'm like, that's kind of too cool to pass up. So
wow.
I just had some spare money, so about that. But yeah, like direct from clubs, it costs so much money right now. Yeah, it's like 180 if you want authentic, and it's still like 120 minimum just for like replica if you get a name on it.
Replica.
Yeah, facts. So then what's the most exclusive kit that you have? What's the story behind it?
Again, gonna shout out my wife Kaylee, because like 5 years ago I set her a task. She asked me like, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, okay, get me a kit, do research, find a kit, make it special, make it random, make it obscure, something I wouldn't even expect. And she had like a month and a half, and she did like research. She talked to friends that played soccer and find something. And she got me a Nagoya Krampus jersey. Yeah, I didn't know it either. Yeah, this was the kit I was mentioning earlier of like, this is the most random kit I have. They're a Japanese club.
Oh.
And, like I've never heard of them. They were in J1 at the time. I think they moved down or maybe come back up. But she was like, yep, found it. I think she might have actually talked to Comey about it, because one link is Arsene Wenger actually coached them for a bit.
Okay.
All right. Random. But that's the most left field one I think I've ever gotten.
Wow.
That's crazy. Wenger was at a Japanese team? Yo, I'm about to go do some more research. What?
What?
So he was there for a couple seasons. Yeah. I was like, really? All right.
No, that's dope. I mean, we're all curious though. Obviously, Africans talk football. Let's talk about the African kits.
Yeah.
All right, let me bring them out.
Ooh, he had him on standby. Like he knew it was coming.
There's a pie. Bring out the rack. Come on, bring out the rack.
I need to see George Opon.
Put this one away for you, Chelsea fans. All right. So I only have a couple so far, and they're all national teams. So get this guy up here.
Ooh,
classic.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Any year for Nigeria, like World Cup.
True.
Like 10, just look, and then I had to get Kelechi on the back.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I can respect that for sure.
He's the one who got away, man. I loved him at City. I was
City product.
Leicester, but he wasn't.
Really, you think he got away? You think he got away?
I think we could have like hung on to him a couple more years, and I think he would have really done well at City. He just wasn't getting the playing time, and I respect him for knowing where the playing time was. It's kind of hard to play along Jamie cite Jamie Vardy and get some playing time, but I think he's doing well. But I still miss him. He was a cult hero for us. Next one. This one's going to be a fun one. I need to figure out if I am going to wear this for their World Cup match or not. Tunisia kit.
Ooh, that's clean.
Yeah,
That's clean.
That's very
yeah. This one's also kind of cool because like the badge is kind of felt.
okay.
Oh wow.
This
okay.
feels cool. But I have a friend Helmi that's from Tunisia, so I kind of bought it just to support him.
Okay.
That was about a year ago. He thought it was pretty cool. It was like, that's great. We'll have to wear it during a match. We get to watch a match. And another shout out to my friend Leith, who's from Australia. The two of them are going to be playing. They're going to be watching at like 3 a.m. here at their house. And they're both trying to figure out, like, okay, whose side are you on? Tunisia kit. Like, Leith, if you want to buy me a Socceroos kit,
I'll wear it.
Yeah, I'll wear it. I'll wear it over, under.
Yeah, and then I found this one and had to buy it for our friend Comey because it's a Togo kit.
Oh man, that's nice.
Fire.
That is fire.
Damn,
What
man.
year
The
is that?
double Pumas.
Yeah, the double
Puma.
What?
I feel like it's 2012.
Okay.
But
double
I
Puma
like
though?
that.
That's
Yeah.
hard.
That's
I've
dope.
never seen that.
yeah,
I've literally never
it's
seen
actually
Can
pretty
you
cool,
put
just
that back
cleaned
up? Hold
Yeah,
on.
can you put that back up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
Damn.
The
That's
double
nice.
Pumas on the shoulders. That's cold. man.
That wow.
Damn.
That's
Puma just
cold.
love to put them like right in the center.
I
Right.
know. Yep.
No,
I-
no question about who's.
They're just doing that to clubs. Like last season with the third kits they put out, where there's like the club badge goes on the
Oh
back
yeah,
now,
yeah.
right here on the front.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
I
I
was-
wasn't either.
I was just
Yeah.
talking about it though. Ever since, like, I think like a few years ago, they made Rihanna like the head of like their women's like sports, and Jay-Z the
Oh,
head of like
yeah.
their guy
Mhm.
sports. So Puma's
Yeah.
been trying stuff. They've been coming out with some crazy kits the last like 3-4
It's a lot
years.
better.
That is true. Like they do push the envelope. I'll give them that. I don't know. Just that third kit rubbed me wrong. Like,
Yeah, it was.
It's
it
a
was-
sweet looking training top. It's like a great as a
Yeah.
training top, but
Yeah.
as a kit,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The badge is not in the front. It's not right. That's
Yeah.
just
I agree.
Who else is like Dortmund's and Man City's is like that?
Yeah, Marseille. That well, AC Milan. There were a couple.
Milan got it too.
Yeah.
Fenerbahce as well. I think there was
Yeah.
somebody else. Yeah, it was like one of the first games of the season where they wore that. I remember watching a Fenerbahce game and some kid scored for Fenerbahce for the first time. Went to kiss the badge. And
There was nothing.
I feel terrible for that
That's
kid.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So with you being, a kit merchant, and my team is known as kit merchants. Club and country, who do you think right now is at the top of the kit game? Like top of the kit game?
Like that question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like doing the best work, probably Puma. Like Cornelius was saying, they're pushing the edge. They're trying stuff. Like it doesn't work all the time, but like they're pushing the envelope, and I think that. As far as like favorite kit merchant, I'd say Macron is my favorite.
Really?
Like
Wow.
the style they're fiber, like the Levante
Yeah.
kit.
Mhm.
They do have
Like they
do
try
have
stuff
swag.
too. Like this is audacious and it's really cool. It's just a good
Mhm.
color
I
scheme.
really like that one.
But yeah, their fabric feels really good, breathes really well. I like them. I feel like Nike has fallen off a little bit. Like I feel like
Thank
they
you.
hit-
I
Oh,
agree.
yeah.
100%. We say
I
it all the
agree.
time.
Yeah.
Nike's gotten lazy. That's what I think it is. They've gotten lazy.
So which teams do you think though have the best kits right now?
Best looking kits. Like for this season or just like last couple where they're doing
I would
You could do last couple of years.
Yeah, I would say last
Yeah.
couple of years. Like what teams do you think have been on the top of their game kit wise?
top of their game. I feel like I'm pandering when I say Arsenal, but yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah.
Kit
Yeah.
merchants, man. Kit
Yeah.
merchants.
No, like it just somehow Arsenal's like third kits do portray like they're part of the city in London each time, like with the kind of rock and the marble style on the third kit a couple years ago. That was pretty cool. I really like that.
Yeah.
I know like Puma's trying to do that for City, and it's a little hit or miss of kind of pulling in local Manchester culture into it.
Mhm.
I like what Marseille does. They look pretty
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
My friend Mark's gonna hate this, but I gotta say that Real Madrid is always pretty good.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
obviously,
always clean.
Yeah.
white.
Mhm.
Clean white kit is always good, but like their away kits are always pretty solid too, where they have to show off because Los Blancos, that's all it's
Yeah.
gonna be ever
Mhm.
for a home kit. Trying to think of anybody else. One I really love, and more towards like the causes they do with it, is this minnow kind of small Turkish club I love called Istanbul Başakşehir.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Istanbul.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
All orange kit, and then
I
away
remember
kit is
that.
all
Yeah.
Hold on.
navy.
This Jackson. Wait.
So
No,
The team that United played?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know exactly who they are.
You know who
Yeah,
they
I
are,
was like,
man.
Istanbul.
Don't act brand new.
Başakşehir.
there's a United fan down the street from us. I watched that game, put on my Başakşehir kit, walked by his house afterwards, and he was mowing his lawn. It was great. He looked so bad.
Mhm.
But yeah, they do a couple kits. Like the last one they did last year was kind of an all white as a third kit that had kind of water tones to it, and they donated part of proceeds to like World Water Initiative. So I like when
Oh.
clubs do that. That's also like top of the game stuff for me for kids. Like when you're doing something that's like a cause with it and something that's beneficial. I like that.
So, have you tried to get the Senegal, Cameroon sleeveless jerseys? Have you tried to get those kids yet?
No, these
It'll
aren't.
probably it'll probably be hard to find.
Next time you come on, the five of us should come on and just
With the
sleeveless.
the
With
sleeve.
You know
the
what I'm
Cameroon
saying?
sleeveless jerseys.
I would get one for that. For that moment, I absolutely would.
Oh man. Yeah, I want to
What's
talk
your favorite
about
jersey?
I want to talk about your favorite city jersey because it's obviously going to be a city jersey.
Yeah.
So which one is your favorite? Is it the one you have on?
This is the one I wear the most. This one's
Okay.
upstairs in my closet. So there's kind of
Okay.
like, I have the racks downstairs that has most of mine. And then I have like a couple kits upstairs for City. This is the one I wear the most for them, and for a couple other clubs. But favorite one of all time was the one I mentioned before, which is from the
The
season
green one?
that
Okay.
we were way down the third tier.
Wow.
That's when I found us. Yeah, first game I ever saw was the old Division II playoff final, where
Wow.
just in super City fashion, we put in 2 goals to tie it in stoppage time, took the penalties and won at Wembley and went back up. And it's one of those matches, like we didn't win that. City would not be who we are now. Like I don't think we would have been purchased, not even by the Thai Prime Minister who bought us the year before we got bought by the UAE. I don't think it would have happened. So like it's special because it's like a moment in our club's history, and it's special because like to be honest, that was the first time I ever saw Manchester City, and I thought like that's their home kit. But no, it was the away kit that year. But yeah.
Yeah.
So how
Yes.
many Manchester City kids do you have? Like in total?
So I have a spreadsheet. I have to keep like a spreadsheet. to
No
keep track.
way. No way.
That's crazy. A spreadsheet.
I feel like it's like 12 or 13. Like
Wow.
I slowed down on buying
Yeah,
city
11.
kits when I started collecting like more clubs.
Okay.
I just want to branch out. So I buy one like every other year. It's really to the point of like an away kit or a third kit that looks good. And I'm hoping like the leaks that I've seen for the City away kit that's coming season are like true, because it looks like it's going to be a black and red stripes, like diagonal stripe kit,
Okay.
which we haven't done in like 10 years. And it's a throwback to like when we were successful in the 70s and 80s, and we had that as an away kit. So it's good looking. I've been kind of waiting for Puma to do that, and I think they finally got it and they're going to do it. So that one I'm going to get this year if it comes out.
How do you feel about you guys' home kit this year? Do you like it?
Dispassionately? Well, passionately, no, I hate United kits, but just honestly, the home kit, I actually dig that you're going back to the style of having the kind of base around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, United. Yeah.
Oh, I thought he says, oh yeah.
No, I thought he was talking about your home
I'm talking
kit.
about your home kit, like city home
I was
kit.
like, damn,
Oh,
Taylor.
City's home kit.
Oh, yeah.
Where
I
is
saw
this coming
United.
from?
Hostility. You know, you
No.
get shots anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was
Um,
saying city's home kit with, like the Puma and then the city emblem. Yeah, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like, I like the trimming around the neck and the
Yeah,
sleeve. Looks
those are
good.
clean. Yeah.
I like that it's just a straight up blue. Finally, again, there's been a lot of like detail on our kits,
Mhm.
like the gosh, when I think of it, like kind of like little rocks and tiles that are
Yeah.
a lot of Manchester kind of areas. It's cool looking, but it's not to my taste.
Mm-hmm.
Flat white, blue trim, it's fine. And having the badge right in the center, I think it's cool. I'm so used to it being over the heart, but I'll try it for 1 year.
I know you mentioned United's kids. I'm with you. I kind of it's grown on me, especially watching it today. When we beat Liverpool 4-0. It looked
he had a slide.
It did look really good. But I wanted to ask you guys, I personally am not a fan of collars on jerseys.
Really?
I don't own a jersey that has a collar on. I just want my jerseys to just be like, round.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Those Real Madrid, I can't remember what they had
Was it
the gold trim.
Yeah.
Those long sleeve jerseys with the collar are some of my favorite. Like, I think those are some of the most iconic. You know what I mean? They were like their home kits with the gold trim. Yeah, when Ramos and Ronaldo would wear the long sleeve, I thought those were like the perfect kit. No cap, I'm not gonna lie.
I actually don't mind the colors at all. I actually like the United one this season.
Yeah, I like.
I like Chelsea's too. I don't mind it actually. I don't mind. I feel like it looks good on some, mostly on Arsenal jerseys. I mean, obviously,
because I feel like you feel it's just a little bit more polished. You know,
yeah,
you have a collar. I don't know. You can wear it out to the pub. You can wear it to the play.
Absolutely. So I want to ask you also about your U.S. men's national team kit collection. Do you have a big collection for them at all?
No, not for them. I have 3. I have 3 kids.
Really? Just 3?
Yeah, from just 2010. Yeah, do you remember the red, white, and blue stripe?
Oh,
the
bars
one?
Yeah,
that was iconic. That was the first one I ever got. I have another one that's just a training kit. It's all black, but it's got the new US emblem on it. And then for the last Women's World Cup, I grabbed a Kristen Press jersey. So
love that.
And then she moved to United, so I was kind of conflicted. But
her and Tobin Heath.
Fantastic. That's right. You got 2 great stars there for a bit. Yeah.
True.
They left the year after though. Tobin Heath actually went to Arsenal. Yeah. Crazy.
Oh, really? Nice.
But I know we talked a little bit about like your first City game that you watched, but like kind of run down how you became a City fan, like what made you choose them as your club, because every football fan wants to know that origin story of how you became, you know.
Yeah. So like that game is the first game I saw, and that's where the choice was made, I guess. So yeah, City was on a slide for a couple of years before that. So I dropped out of the Prem, then down to Division 1, so what Championship is now, and then dropped again for 1 season. We were only in the 3rd tier for 1 season ever, and it was that year.
What year was that?
That was into 98.
Okay.
And my God, I was just over in England. Like my dad taught there for a little bit, and my mom and I came over, visited him, and we went to a pub with a friend of his that was a professor there and watched a match. So like, yeah, does your son like football? It's like, yeah, he's just getting into it. He plays at school. Yeah, come along and watch it. So we're sitting in this pub, and it tended to be like where anybody that was not like from that area went to watch football. And it was just a bunch of City fans at the time, and there were grown men crying and cheering and laughing and just having a great time, especially when we got to like stoppage time. Yeah. And Paul Dickoff scored this tying goal because it was 2-0 at the time. It was done. And came back, scored 2 goals, sent it to extra time, and yeah, beer was flying everywhere. And I was like, I have to be a part of this. So it was like hard in the first couple of years because like they weren't on TV here, and I just had to like read about them in newspapers and everything. But I was still just like, hey, I'm going to follow and know what this is. So obviously it got easier as more games started showing up on the air. And yeah, that's when I became a City fan.
That's dope. That's
Oh, you were a City fan before you could watch them in the States. That's actually crazy.
That's crazy.
I mean,
So I went through a lot of pain. Yeah. My life with City has been like true typical City of just like actual like we'll probably mess this up. We'll go from scoring 3 goals one match to like shipping 4 goals with a 3-goal lead the next match, and it makes it interesting. It makes you appreciate like the current times. So yeah.
how have you seen the progression from, because you've seen it all? I mean, not
Yeah,
all,
I mean,
but
since
you've seen-
'98,
Yeah,
a little bit before
Like this
that.
century.
Yeah, so like how have you seen like that progression?
It's been interesting going from like a club that's mid-table is a successful season for us, and seasons where we were in relegation scraps, and like a lot of the players that I grew up with watching at City, like as I learned about them, I come to find they were at other clubs and they're just coming towards the end of their career, and that's why we were able to pick them up, squeeze the last little bit of success out of them before they kind of retire. Going to the money making the change, like that's the honest answer. It's just like, yep, we got bought by somebody who has an immense amount of money and funnels it into the club and then into the community around Manchester, which is great. But you know, like that's the way the change came about. Like obviously Pep jumping on board has made us a more solidified club culture of winning, obviously. But like it really just kind of came together. It's been kind of surprising just being a City fan and all of a sudden realizing it's been, what is it, 14 years since we got bought, and we still haven't won a Champions League, which most of us don't really care about, which is surprising, but we'll do it at some point. But just the fact that you go to the stadium and don't think we might lose today is an immense feeling that we just like didn't grow up with and feel for a long time as City fans. We would go to the stadium or watch a match and be like, let's see what the hell happens today. Was the feeling. So yeah, there's this stability about the club now that just I didn't grow up with, and it feels great.
Yeah, let's get into City a little bit more.
Speaking of stability,
so Ellen Holland, what are your expectations for next season? At least for year one. Year one.
Year one, everybody tells me like the words I hear the most is this guy's going to bang in 30 goals every single season.
Come on, no,
he's
man,
not.
no.
I don't expect it.
I do.
I expect fireworks. The kid is incredibly talented. Like in baseball, everybody be calling him a 5-tool player. The man has a great header. He is blistering fast, and his finishing for his age is just off the charts. And I'm
With
just,
both feet too.
yeah. He's not a winger, so I don't think he's going to take like a first season to settle under Pep. I still have no idea, like, are we going to be changing our formation to fit Holland, or is he going to have to fit into what we do now? I don't think he's going to play as a false 9. That would be wild.
He's a true 9.
It's crazy, but he's not
a number
crazy.
9.
Yeah, he's a 9. That's what we need, is a 9. My expectation is definitely over 20 goals. Yeah, that's kind of my
in the Prem or all competition?
All comps or
in the Prem.
okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I think Mike said 20 or something like that.
I said 15 all comps.
Yeah.
15 all comps.
15 all comps? That's
Yeah, I'm saying 15 all comps.
They're in everything.
All competitions. They're in every
They're in everything.
I know. I said 15 all comps.
They're in Club World Cup. They're in everything.
This is my reason. I just think City is just one of those teams that like the goals come from everywhere. It's not going to be like just one guy. I feel like throughout
they haven't had this in a while.
Since Aguero. I know. Aguero has been the guy. But
9. Yeah, it's going to be prime kind of striker pointed City, I think. I think he like the goals are going to come from everywhere still. I do still believe that, but I think Holland is really going to be the spearhead. He's going to be 20 in the league. And I'll say he's going to throw 10 in the UCL minimum.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, UCL, he loves the Champions League. He loves the Champions League.
He shows up every time. His ringtone he wakes up to in the morning is the Champions League.
That's
no
crazy.
joke.
That's nuts. I know that. That's crazy.
Just gonna do it.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm
talking about-
excited. Like it's going to be a change to like how City plays. It's kind of one of those first seasons I don't like in a while where I don't know exactly what I'm going to get with like our attack. We're going to score goals, but how is going to be like an evolution from where we've been, and that's kind of exciting for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So speaking about Champions League, this past year, you know,
Ooh,
you spoke it's crazy because you spoke about, you know, one of the first matches you ever watched was, you know, them coming back in stoppage time, scoring 2 goals, and then going to PKs.
Full circle.
I see where this is going.
Yeah,
circle.
so I mean, our group chat was popping that day. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Man.
nobody expected to see what
Not in that
happened that
fashion.
day.
Not-
Not in that
Yeah,
fashion.
I didn't
So
either.
can you kind of tell, like, just kind of walk us through your 90 minutes of
Plus.
your 90 minutes plus
90 minutes plus.
of your Champions League exit this year.
The term that comes to mind, and like if you ask any City fan about that game, they'll say that was typical City. It's not something we've experienced in a while. Typical City is snatching defeat from the jaws of success. It's one of those things, like no matter like how long we change our culture and everything that we're doing now, I think is going to be part of our DNA. So towards the end of that game, that's what I was thinking of. 1 minute, just switching off 1 minute. How do we do this? So many people were talking to me after like the first leg and saying like, you guys got this in the bag. And I said, no,
No, we don't.
we can always mess this up, especially because of Benzema. The guy can take over any game, and then he did. My 90 minutes were sitting there thinking, we're actually tactically playing this perfectly for an away match with a lead. I wish we had put away a lot more of our chances in the first leg so I wouldn't be stressed, but we didn't. So we're there, and I was thinking we're holding them back, we're frustrating them. When Mara's put in that goal, I was thinking,
This is it.
obviously we didn't in the end. It was really just switching off in defense, which is rare for us now. So it felt like that typical City, like, yep, we found a way to mess it up. I was frustrated with the penalty. I thought it was soft, but it was a penalty. You know, like that's one of those things, like sitting in a bar or places and like penalties get called and fans lose their minds about them. Like, even when it's like against City, I'm like, yeah, that's a penalty. Like, really not like blown away by like a penalty call, and like I totally should have been or could have been for that with the frustration I was feeling, but it's a fair call. And we just got it done.
Yeah. So one of our biggest debates of the podcast was it Pep's fault or was it the players? We want to hear from a City fan. What do you think? Do you think Pep was tinkering too much, or
some of those
the players just didn't come through for him?
He brings Grealish on. Grealish has a chance and misses. You know, it's
I think it's Benzema's fault for being too damn good.
Here.
No, I think you put the onus on the players, which I think when City's having a bad go of it, Pep lets them figure it out. I do dig that. Like when it's a match that can be won, there's something that we can tweak if we're down, whatever it is. Pep goes to work, and I think he does a good job. The last couple of seasons, this and last season, I think he's done great, especially in the UCL with not tinkering when he has passed. Like Champions League final against Chelsea.
Yeah, that was.
He lost that because of Pep.
Yeah.
If you have a squad that has Rodri and Fernandinho in it, and you're going into a Champions League final,
they gotta play.
Either of them, you're gonna lose. Yeah, and like he didn't tinker last year. He didn't tinker the previous year in Champions League, and let the players try and figure it out. And we just didn't sort it out in the end. But like we played for it, and we didn't like do tactically wrong, in my opinion. Like bringing Grealish on. Every winger takes a year to settle at City these days, and he was just getting to that point where he was actually starting to click and not have to be the one guy that drives everything forward. He's not holding on to the ball too long. He's keeping it ticking over. And like the chance he had, everything was right. There was just a defender on the line. And it hurt. It hurt, but,
but that was it. That was honestly it.
Yeah, that was it.
I saw that and I was like,
yeah, but see, that's why I told you, Cornelius, like, if Grealish makes that, then like Pep's like this genius. You know what I'm saying? He misses. Grealish misses, which is like, how are you missing that? That's on you. You know, that's on Fernandinho showing who he was at the wrong point of the match. But
so you guys have some major players that left this summer. Fernandinho left, Sterling's left, Jesus left. How are you feeling about that?
I feel sad. Like, I don't feel like we're losing out, like, except for Sterling. I'm a City fan that loves Sterling. There's a surprising amount of City fans that rag on him way too much. He's an absolute legend for us. He just keeps coming up with the goods, and I'm pissed he's going to for Chelsea too. He's going to be a success there, but like, still wish him well. I just wish he was with us. Jesus, I'm happy he's at Arsenal. I'm happy he's getting that opportunity to be the guy there. He's going to fit you guys perfectly, in my opinion.
I agree.
So yeah,
he wasn't going to get the playing time at City with Haaland and Julian Alvarez there. He wasn't going to get the playing time. Yeah. So another guy who's been like underrated by a lot of City fans just because he doesn't score the same amount of goals as Aguero, because nobody does. But he's a spark plug. He's kind of the guy that, like, if Arsenal are down and they're just not playing as a squad, he'll drag you guys along. That's like the quality that I don't think gets talked enough about of why Arteta wanted to bring him there. Okay. And on top of that, you saw that flick of a goal, the second goal he scored in preseason.
Yep.
He's got his confidence up again. I'm going to be excited to see that. But I sit here and I worry about our wingers. Like, obviously I shouldn't. We have an immense amount of talent, but there's a lot of changes going into the squad.
Absolutely.
I'm wondering if we need to settle quick enough, because obviously the Prem comes down to 1 point nowadays. So nobody can afford slip ups. And I don't know if we take the title again this year. I think we can, absolutely. But it's going to be City and Liverpool again, probably. Chelsea's going to be a lot tighter to us this year. So, and I'll throw out the fact that Arsenal is going to get back to being fourth, just like they always should. That's my guess. What? You'll be in the Champions League.
Yep.
Should have been there.
It wouldn't be ATF TV episode if I didn't say Arteta out. So Arteta out. I'm still Arteta out.
Taylor.
I'm still Arteta out, man.
It's interesting how like nice Taylor is talking about how, Sterling, I wish him the best. Jesus, I wish him the best. That's how you know he's been on top for a while. That's how you know City's been on top.
Like, our job is done.
Thank you for
we are not threats. We are not.
Thank you for your services.
I'm so space. I think Sterling is an absolute loss for us. I'm not saying he's past his prime or we don't need him in the squad. Like, I would take him over.
He's just entering.
Yeah, he's right there. So, I think he needs the playing time. Like, we're going into the World Cup, and I think Southgate plays him absolutely, like, already. But you got to make sure he gets the playing time. So Chelsea will give him that, and City would, but not all of the time. We have too many wingers, and that loves to rotate.
Now, you're with that's the thing. You have players that are versatile. So you have Mahrez, you have
they have Alvarez coming in.
And Alvarez too, bro.
Huge.
I think he's gonna be really good.
It's gonna be a problem.
United
could have had him too.
Yeah. Not enough. Sorry, man. We got not enough people are talking about him. He is fantastic. And he can play all the way across the front, so he kind of fills in for Jesus, takes out the squad. I don't think Pep goes to playing two forwards, like two strikers up front, having him and Haaland up front. So I expect Julian Alvarez is going to play as a winger a lot and drift in.
What are your expectations? We've been very critical of Jack Grealish on this podcast. $100 million man, not dollar, but 100.
Too much
price tag is the price tag.
What was it? 6 GA all season?
6
all comes.
For him,
people talk about Timo.
He'll get the opportunities this year. So you expect a bounce back season from Grealish?
Yeah, I expect a bounce back season, not to the extent like he would have at Aston Villa in his seasons there, where he was the only offensive threat and everything funneled through him. But like I was saying before, and I say to everybody, wingers take 1 year to settle at City. I go back Raheem Sterling in his first season when he came over from Liverpool. Same for Mahrez.
Mhm.
They were good. It's a different style. You have to keep the ball moving a lot faster than you used to, especially if you're the guy at Villa and all of a sudden you're just a squad guy at City.
Yeah.
He struggled, and I was expecting him to, and I let him off for that. He frustrated the hell out of me all season, even though I felt that way. But he started to show like the things that I need out of like a Pep winger, out of Grealish. I still think we paid too much money for him. That's too much money for any player, to be fair.
I agree.
But
I agree.
it's just too much money. But I think he starts turning it around. I don't think he throws down like a PFA Player of the Year season this coming season. But yeah, he's going to be much better this season.
Okay. I have another question, about Grealish. We usually don't have, City fans on the podcast, so we don't know where to direct some of these questions. But how do you feel about Grealish's off the field life? I personally don't think it matters. I don't think it matters as long as they perform on the field. It doesn't matter to me. But there's been a lot of he's caught a lot of heat this summer. Pictures coming out from Vegas, wasted out of his mind. I mean, as a City fan, how do you feel about that? This is your $100 million player
off the pitch.
Do you have any expectations for him off the pitch? Because
I don't. I mean, I'm the same kind of feeling about you. Like, person's private life and the way they live it is their life. And like, if paparazzi comes and sees you, you did that. Like, as long as you show up and you're like there for training and you're committed to the club, fine, go out and do whatever you want. As long as you follow the coach's rules about that, fine. Yeah,
I mean, he'd be off pissed, like,
But speaking, said, like, he's like, oh yeah, you see all the players going out and celebrating, and like, what do you feel about that? It's like, I feel mad that they didn't like call me to bring me along.
That was a great response. I love that response by Pep. He's a cheeky guy. He's funny. He's funny.
I mean, you guys have just been winning for so long that, like, even hearing you talk about Man City, like, we don't get this energy.
He's so calm. He's just so calm about them. I'm like, bro, he knows they're on top.
No, you genuinely seem happy, Taylor, and I'm happy for you. On this podcast, I mean, I don't know. Like, as you guys have started to ascend, we started to decline, and I mean, we obviously, we had the preseason game the in Bangkok, the what is it, the Century Cup final was today, and it was our first preseason game. We beat Liverpool 4-0. Once again. What are your thoughts on Ten Hag coming to United? I mean, obviously, this isn't the first time a new manager has come into United, but I mean, you guys have, I won't say it, but Manchester has not been red for a while. And do you think this changes anything for United? And like, what do you think about our chances, I guess, going forward?
I do think it changes things. I definitely think Ten Hag's going to be better than Van Gaal was. That's not saying much, but
Van Gaal.
I was frustrated that he moved to United because he was the guy that I was kind of eyeballing as coming after Pep, to be honest. Just timing's not right. I was like, this guy has the idea for a system. He's a great manager. He's a player's manager as well. And that's really one of the biggest things I think United need right now is a player manager. Just somebody to kick players into gear, and then a guy that's not afraid to say, you, and you're out. I need just clean house. And it doesn't matter like how pretty it is, how ugly it is, roll over the squad, get the right people in place. And the only thing that I think really stopped United from getting back towards where you should be traditionally is patience from fans. It's not going to be this season, in my opinion. I have to throw the same example in of, I think Arsenal have taken a lot longer to get back to where they are because of just impatience from their board and from fan base, which like it's the same kind of struggle. Like you're used to an extreme amount of success and all of a sudden it's not happening. It's absolute frustration.
So what do
That's out.
what do you, Taylor, define as patience? Because the last time we won a title was 2013, and we're approaching almost 10 years now. So what
Yeah, you
what
should be
what
patient about that, but yeah.
20.
you,
Yeah.
20?
He
So
said
Gabriel, yeah, you know,
I've run out of patience. I
Yeah.
don't have any more patience. I'm sorry.
but no,
I feel like
that's
consistent improvement each season. Like, I don't think United crack the top 4 this season. I think you'll finish 5th. If you don't
Hey.
finish,
we need to invite him on a predictions episode.
Yeah,
cap.
man. What?
No cap.
yep, 5th. If you don't finish in the top 4 the next season, Ten Hag gets fired. That's just the nature of it. But I think it needs to be like a 3-year thing. If United doesn't win the title in 3 years, maybe there's no hope for you guys at all. But
in 3
other
years.
thing I
Hold on,
think-
you think in 3 years?
yeah, I think that's where the club is. You have the right players, but the wrong system. If Ten Hag puts a
I
system
agree.
in there,
Wow, we
Yeah.
disagree. You think we have the players?
yeah, you have the players. You need a couple more players. The business is not there this offseason yet, but I think you're getting close. Like this, Lissandro Martinez is a good player to bring in. I'm really glad actually that you shipped Dean Henderson out. It's kind of nice just for him, just to get some playing time. That might be the person you need to wing back around once De Gea finally like decides he's going to die or something. He'll probably be at like 45, but keep her lined up. As long as you ditch Maguire, I think you actually have a chance. That's the other
I think
we
all
agree on
there.
Maguire.
Yeah, we all agree there.
He
Yeah.
didn't play today, and I thought that we looked really good. There's another player that seems to just, never elude the lineup, but he was once again pedestrian. Scott McTominay. But yeah, man. Lastly, just wanted to get your thoughts on the U.S. men's national team and, their prospects going forward. We've talked about this men's national team a lot here. I think we all have different opinions. I think
Some Gabriel think we qualify.
Gabriel certainly has
No hope.
a different opinion from, I think the three of us, Cornelius, Mike, and I are kind of on the same page as far as what we think could happen. But with this like group of players, like what do you think, we could do in the World Cup?
I think we finally get to the quarters this time.
Wow.
Just kind of a throwback to SoccerKitTok. That was because Ghana knocked us out in 2010. I was like, I need to learn about this country.
Yeah.
Make you feel good. There you go. Yeah, I think quarters. I think we get to the quarters as long as Weston's healthy and like he's back.
Agreed.
And he's not got like any like bad lingering injury from last season. I think that helps.
We need him.
We need a striker. We need a striker to step up. That's the last piece, in my opinion. Like for something that actually can be a team that can move through knockout stages. I don't think we get beyond quarters though. Like that's a step too far, I think, this World Cup. But if we can get there, that's something to build on. And then in the next 4 years, keep building players. Like it elevates the game in this country. More young athletes start moving to soccer instead of football.
Yeah.
And I think that just keeps the momentum going. But if we can't achieve something like that that really piques the interest of the public, I think we're going to stagnate a little bit. But
Wales, Iran,
Taylor.
UK.
Yeah. So you think we're going to get out of the group?
Wales, Iran, UK. How many points out of those 3 teams?
for US,
Yes.
I think we take 6.
6, just 6?
That's-
You think 6 is enough?
Yeah, I think 6 will be enough.
We'll beat Iran. We'll beat Wales.
Unless everybody's just tired.
We might get a draw out of England. I think England will be on point again. Their momentum is good. I think we get a draw at best against England, and I think we take Wales easily. I don't know if Bale will be enough of a focal point just for Wales to be successful in the World Cup. And then Iran is where I actually think we might have like a banana peel. They actually have some pretty talented players. They don't get enough like exposure, obviously, but I think we'll take them as well. But that's the banana peel I see potentially as being Iran. But I think we take 6 points, maybe 7.
Are you sure there's not tequila or vodka in that glass that you had? Or
The first one was
quarterfinals?
water. Quarters, yeah, man.
Hey,
Yeah, I don't think
Dissenting opinion. I want to hear from you first.
yo, first and foremost, I don't think we get out the group stage. I personally don't have hope for this US team. I really don't. I think we have some talented players like Weston McKennie. I mean, I guess you can put Christian Pulisic in there.
Musa,
I guess you could
Musa.
put Musa. I guess you could put Serginho Dest as well.
Who also needs to be healthy.
Adams.
Yeah. I think we have, some decent individuals, but the things that I've seen from this US team over the past couple of years, losing to Honduras, losing to these, as Salam likes today, pedestrian teams, like these poor countries. I can't go into
I've never called a country pedestrian, by the way. I've only referred to the player. I've never referred to a country.
You know what I mean? But it's like I just don't see us. I don't see us beating England. I agree with you on the fact that I don't think we'll beat Iran. I don't think we'll beat them. I personally think that we will lose to them, like 100%. I think we'll lose to Iran. And Wales, I think we'll get 3 points against Wales. I think that's a team that we match up against well and we can get 3 points. But I don't see us getting out the group stage. Like, I really don't see us. And you talk about the quarters. Like, if we got the group stage, hey, y'all shut me up. Congratulations. I'll be rooting for you. But the quarters? Nah, that I put all my eggs in the basket and say that's not going to happen. Because I don't think we got the group stage, and then the team that we see in the round of 16. I think they'll for sure beat us. I don't know. I just don't have a lot of hope for this US team. I don't think they're very well structured. I think we have some decent players, but I don't agree with the system. And I don't think we're really gonna. Yeah, we don't have a 9. We don't have a goal scorer. Like, it's just those are things that don't combine well with the World Cup. Once again, come on, we know it, and we know what a keeper can do. We know what a 9 can do, and we always talk about this. I say I'm a firm believer in this. Your spine of the team has to be strong. The 9, the midfield, the 6, the center back, and the keeper. They have to be strong. If your spine of your team is not strong, you're not going to be that strong of a team. That's just how football works to me. So I don't think we have a solid 6. We have McKennie. It's my fault. So McKennie be all right, but he needs to be healthy. We don't have a 9. We don't have a keeper. And who's our center back?
Zimmerman.
Zimmerman's actually gotten better with age.
He's gotten better. But
how about Brooks?
No, he's
a little old, man.
Yeah.
No, he could play. I don't think Miles Robinson won't be back. I don't know.
No,
and that's my and that's my thing. Like, how can we win when our spine of our team isn't good or isn't strong? Like, what happens when Iran, those strikers and those wingers start making runs? We're going to be lost. We're going to be lost. When those players are making runs, we're going to be lost. So I personally, hey, we get to the quarters. Hey, congratulations. But I don't have much hope for this US team, man. I'm excited to see the World Cup, of course. I love the World Cup. It's the best time of year, especially, with the Premier League starting early this year and then going straight into the World Cup and then going Premier League right after. It's going to be a great year of football. A lot of football being played, which would be amazing. But yeah, this US team, 2FC, man. I just don't. I just don't see them doing well. So to hear you say that they're going to the quarters, that's a shock. That's a big shock. That's a shock.
Feeling is like a 9 does step up. If that doesn't happen, that does change my mentality. But I do think somebody is going to take that role and actually put a stamp on it. If that doesn't happen, then yeah, I'm kind of with you back in the group stages. But I think it's going to happen.
And then on top of that, it's we're putting a lot of our faith into Christian Pulisic, and we talk about Christian Pulisic a lot on this podcast. I don't think he's that good. I'm sorry, but if this is our Captain America, then
I'm actually glad you brought him up. I was gonna say who has more expectations, Christian Pulisic or McKennie? Because
the world has put their expectations on Pulisic, which I don't think he's ready for at this point in time.
No.
Yeah,
but
it's kind of a
I
amount of
personally
pressure.
believe Weston McKennie is a better overall player.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I believe McKinney's the better player. But
I think
we've shifted the expectations on Pulisic.
Yeah, the fate of this U.S. team isn't on Pulisic. Honestly, it's on McKinney. It's in the matches are won and lost in the midfield every time. They're won and lost in the midfield. So if we don't have McKinney, it's dead. I mean, if he's not healthy, it's dead. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think you guys are talking about McKinney and those guys, but for real, I feel like it's Berhalter, man. I think Berhalter has ran his course. I think he is. This is the time where. This is like that, like Ole moment. You know what I'm saying? Like last year when we got Ronaldo. All right, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's you've done what you needed to do, but now we're in a position to compete. And I think
that's a good point.
Unfortunately, if he doesn't make it to the I don't know, but I think even achieving this World Cup is a step in the right direction for the US. So
I was gonna say it's like a Mark Jackson, Steve Kerr type thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like we got to that final point, but we need that manager to push us
to push it.
To the next level.
That's what I'm saying. The structure too. I mean, the manager, as Ole proved, can kill a team quick.
Yeah,
quick. So
I
just don't. I personally don't see it. So if we get to the quarters, I'm definitely you're on my IG story. You'll be the first person I contact. You were right. 100%. But yeah, no, it's gonna be an interesting World Cup for sure. I'm looking forward to it.
He's Salam as well on the maybe Berhalter has run his course. Like he gets the World Cup and if he doesn't have success there, I think it is time to move on. Like he's pushed us, but if you can't take this next step, it's time for the next person to take that level, build it and go further.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, Taylor, you can take the floor. I know you wanted to, reveal the new kit you just got.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's like a you're unlocking a FIFA pack.
This
is an African Talk Football exclusive right here.
We got an exclusive.
Oh yeah,
from
all
the man
authentic.
himself. From the man himself.
That was super close to cutting the jersey there.
Damn.
Don't do that.
man. So
club or international jersey?
Club.
And this is number 217.
Ooh.
Dinamo, is that
Dinamo Kiev?
Yeah.
Wow, the Ukraine in the middle. You can see the flag. That's hard. I didn't know they were New Balance. We were just talking about New Balance.
What year was this? What year is this kit?
This is just from last season.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Those are fresh.
That is clean.
Did you get a name, a number, anything, or just a kit?
You dropped a little tidbit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you dropped a little tidbit. You said you got it from Igor. We should have known.
Yeah.
He lived in Kiev. We should have known.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You put it up again?
Little Easter egg.
Got tags. So
Oh yeah. I love context.
That's fire. That's a fire kit.
Oh man,
That's clean.
That's a fire kit.
Shout out
Yeah,
Ukraine.
that's good.
open mesh on the back, so this will breathe. It's been hot as hell here, so I need that. No, it's a good kit. I love it.
It looks good. Thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks for man. Again, just appreciate your time, obviously, for coming on. I know it's been a little bit, but sometimes conversations with us, the time.
Yeah, we could talk all day.
It's
kind of similar
to the end of the world about football, so I'm up for it.
Yeah.
So I have one quick question. I know we want to wrap up here soon, and Salam, I'll let you get a little wrap up in, but I overheard you saying your dad taught in England for a little bit, so you used to travel. You and your wife travel a lot now, so I'm assuming you've been to a city game. I want to ask if you have like a favorite city moment at a game that you've attended, or just a favorite city moment in general, just for the fans.
Yeah, I'll go beyond the obvious ones, like the moment I talked about, just becoming a City fan. Obviously, the Aguero moment.
Yeah.
I don't know, snatching a title away from across town felt really good. I think of like my favorite moment that doesn't get talked about enough. I didn't get to see it live, but watching this game again after years would be 2004 against Spurs. So this will make you happy. We beat them 4-3 at White Hart Lane when we were down 3-0 at halftime. and Joey
yeah.
Barton got red carded at halftime for
Who is it?
Mhm.
Joey Barton.
Joey Barton.
Wow,
Shout out
that's-
Joey
Jeez.
Barton.
Yeah, shout out Joey.
That's a throwback.
Shout out Joey.
Barton shows up everywhere in City lore. Like, played for City.
Mhm.
Kind of liked him. He was a hothead. He got sent off at halftime of this match, and we came back and scored 4 goals and won in stoppage time to beat him. And it was unreal FA Cup match. But yeah, he showed up for QPR at the Aguero moment and got sent off for kicking
Yeah.
Aguero.
Yeah, he did.
Mhm.
He did.
Yeah, that,
Double agent Joey Barton.
007.
Double agent. Oh man.
No idea where he is now, but yeah.
I know.
Oh, man.
Favorite moment in person at a City match. I was actually going to go to a match with Comey, and it was going to be on his birthday. So yeah, we met in February. Now I know this. So we're going to a game, Arsenal against City at the Etihad, and the game got moved to a Sunday, and he had to fly back before then. So but Kaylee and I went and beat Arsenal, and Aguero scored a hat trick. So
Wow.
Oh,
Aguero
okay.
scored a hat trick in person was very special. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. That's a good
Cool.
one. That's a sweet
Damn,
one.
Yeah.
Gabriel.
It'd be like that.
He already
It'd
even
be
knew
like
the
that,
score
man.
line too. He said, yeah, the game that got postponed.
Yeah, I already knew what it was. I already knew what it was, man. I'm sick.
Oh
But
man.
it'd be like that, man. It'd be like that.
Mhm.
No, that's really cool. And it's ultimately like it's cool that like you were there before like
Yeah.
this whole
Real
The takeover.
you know
Yeah.
the takeover, because it's crazy, man, because like I coach in youth soccer and like we're actually doing camps this week, and like one of my questions would be like, what's your favorite team? And almost all the kids are like Man City, and I'm like, wow, like you got like
Times have changed.
yeah, like when I was a kid, like there was no such thing as
Yeah.
like not in
Yeah.
America.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who? Everyone was a
Yeah.
United fan,
Yeah.
man. Everyone.
Mhm.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
United or Arsenal. Like,
Oh,
when I was growing
Arsenal.
up.
Yep. Mhm.
yeah, so it's really cool that that you have that history with them, and fortunately, you're lucky to where your team is doing really well now. So
Not for long. The boys in blue are coming.
Yeah, we coming for y'all.
the
Boys in Blue are already here.
Navy blue. None of that baby blue. Team. None of that.
Y'all
Baby
not even
blue
navy
team.
blue. Cornel, you don't even. You're not even navy blue. The Tottenham, you guys are like royal blue.
Mhm.
Royal,
Talking
pride
about,
of
like,
London, whatever you want to call it.
Like, United can get back on top as long as Liverpool start to fail.
It'll happen. I mean, you saw the game today. You saw what happened today. I think.
This guy is talking about
I think-
preseason.
Oh,
Preseason.
this guy.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna I'm gonna keep my agendas here. I'm not gonna say anything crazy like Malacia being the best left back in the league or anything. I'm just gonna
Alright.
say like, what I'm saying, the agendas won't start, but it was
What?
a good showing today. But before things get crazy here,
Left back by the traded City than there is at United. We don't even have a left back. What are you talking about?
I thought you guys were gonna get what was Cornelius'
Cucurella.
boy?
Cucurella. Yeah.
Yeah, I really.
That's
Hey,
been our
you know
problem.
that's my guy.
I mean,
We
him,
solved our problem. It's Cancelo, but
Cancelo.
Best
Yeah.
left back in the
Now,
world.
speaking of which, you guys did get. We didn't really touch on it. Calvin Phillips, real quickly. What do you think about? What do you think he'll contribute?
he's got big boots to fill because I love Fernandinho.
Mm-hmm.
Dark arts of playing midfield kind of went out of our squad, and that's a big thing. It doesn't get talked enough about Fernandinho, but I feel like Calvin Phillips is a better rounded player than Fernandinho. I don't think his mind is as quick for the game as Fernandinho, so that will be a little different. We lose a lot of leadership with Fernandinho leaving, but Calvin Phillips is going to be magnificent, I think. He's not going to get the same kind of playing time he got last season, like even with the injury, but I think he slots in really well for what Fernandinho was giving us because he wasn't playing as
for sure.
So like him alongside Rodri and just trading between the two, we'll be able to trade between the two a lot more with Phillips than we could with Fernandinho because of just the legs we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I love him. I think he's going to be great. And I think City's showing a lot of purpose with him because we gave him the number 4 shirt. Nobody's worn that since Comedy left. So I think that's a statement. Yeah, I like to see what he's going to accomplish. I got text from a friend named Kane, who's a Leeds fan, and he said, "Why'd you take him from us? I hate you." But I'm okay seeing him in the shirt now. Yeah, he talks volumes about him. I've loved everything I've seen from Calvin Phillips playing, and like, he definitely has like earned being England's Player of the Year in the last season. Like, for them, he was very good. So I'm excited to see him in a blue shirt.
Yeah, I think also talking about the injury with him, he's also like one of those injury prone players, but I think going to City is going to be good for him because he won't have to play every single match.
Yeah,
he'll have some time to rest. These guys they're adding just more and more games every year, more and more games. So the rest for these guys is very vital. So I think going to City, I mean, obviously is a step up, it's an improvement, but just for him physically, I think as a player, it's very good for him too because he won't have to play 90 minutes. Every week, all the time. He can have some time to rest, maybe play 30 minutes here, 30 minutes there. So yeah, it'll be good for you guys. Yeah.
Facts. Man City. It's funny, like we don't really talk about Man City often because it's usually like whenever we start talking about Man City, it's just kind of like
they got 3 points again this week.
They got 3 points
they beat
again.
Whoever. Foden looked great.
The very, minimal analysis, if you will. But
it's like
yeah,
being
man.
a weather reporter in San Diego. Like, it's sunny today in San Diego.
San Diego is really nice. But yeah, man. Taylor, thank you again for coming on, man. Really,
thank you, man.
Absolutely appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, taking the time to talk to us. And you want to plug your socials?
Yeah, I got this one right here. SoccerKitTok. That's my TikTok. And then Soccer Jersey Talk is on Insta. Same content. I posting on both. So if you're into soccer kits, you want to learn something about clubs you don't know, clubs you do know, it's the spot.
Yeah, check the man out, man. He fresh knowledge and some
really good
kits.
Content. Really good content
for sure.
Yeah,
like we were talking about earlier, man. I mean, like I speaking for myself, I learn a lot from watching videos.
Yeah,
100%. So it's a really cool concept that you got going. So keep it up, man.
Keep it up. Absolutely. I love your content. So
I need requests. You got me here. Like, do you have any requests?
Oh, I got you. Ethiopia, man. My country. Ethiopia.
You can find a George Oponwia jersey.
George Weah. Whatever George.
Only African player to win the Ballon d'Or. Make sure you know it. Make sure you know it.
George Weah played for City.
Yeah,
he did at the end of his career.
Wow, right. George Weah.
Yep. At the end of his career, bro.
Yeah, it was in that period where I was just like, we were signing players that were over the hill.
Yeah, Anelka is one of them. But he came to Chelsea though.
Yeah.
If you could find a City Weah jersey, that'd be exclusive. That'd be
Nah, that would. I'm not gonna lie. I feel some type of way about.
I have a good one for you. My favorite team from the UAE, Al Ain. You should look that up. Yeah, Al Ain. They have pretty nice jerseys. Their colors are, I believe, white and purple.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that where Asamoah Gyan played?
That's where Asamoah Gyan played, actually.
Yeah, that's where he moved.
Yeah, so Al Ain. Yeah, he's retired.
He just retired. Okay.
Yeah, so it's spelled A-L and then A-I-N. Al Ain. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much anytime I get recommendations, I'm like, yep, I gotta go find that kid now. So.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Totally. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Taylor. SoccerKitTok, Africans Talk Football. We like to always, conclude the episodes with a kind gesture to our fans, and that's thank you for tuning in, and good luck to you in your future endeavors.